this is your War Dispatch, Day 7 of the Iran-US-Israel war. And tonight the messages from Washington, Tel Aviv and Tehran are unmistakable. The war is entering a far more destructive phase. Airstrikes are intensifying, missiles are flying across multiple countries, and a looming political vacuum inside Iran is now raising new questions about who will rule the Islamic Republic next. Let's break down the key developments shaping Day 7 of this expanding war. 7 days into the war, the first signs of diplomatic backchannels are beginning to emerge. Iran's President Pezeshkian has revealed that several countries have quietly begun mediation efforts to try and end the escalating conflict between Iran, the United States, and Israel. But the Iranian president's message is clear. Any negotiations must start with those who initiated the war. In a post on X, Pezeshkian said Iran remains committed to peace but will not back down, he wrote. He wrote that some countries have begun mediation efforts. Let's be clear, we are committed to lasting peace in the region, yet we have no hesitation in defending our nation's dignity and sovereignty. Now, he added that mediation efforts should focus on those who underestimated Iran and ignited this conflict. Just 2 days ago, Iran's foreign ministry had dismissed diplomacy altogether, saying this was a moment for national defense, not negotiations. For context, Qatar, Turkey, Egypt and Oman have all signaled their willingness to mediate since the US and Israel launched their joint strikes in Iran last Saturday. But for now, however, neither Washington nor Tel Aviv has signaled any real appetite for talks. The bombs are still falling and diplomacy remains on the sidelines. Meanwhile, the bombardment of Iran has entered what Israeli officials call a new phase. On Day 7, fresh wave of Israeli airstrikes hit Tehran and several other Iranian cities, targeting what the military described as regime infrastructure. Residents in Tehran described the worst night yet. Explosions shook buildings, windows rattled, and Israeli fighter jets continued striking what they called regime targets. Now, the attacks come amid a warning from US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, who said that the American bombardment campaign would surge dramatically, and that surge seems already underway. According to US officials, B-2 stealth bombers have dropped dozens of bunker-busting penetrator bombs on deeply buried Iranian ballistic missile sites. Now, these weapons are designed specifically to destroy hardened underground launch sites, some of Iran's most protected military assets. The human toll is also climbing rapidly. Iranian sources say more than 1,230 people have been killed since the joint US-Israeli strikes began. But Tehran is making it clear this war is far from over. Iran's military says it is preparing to expand its attacks in the coming days. Iranian state television broadcast the warning, saying that the country's armed forces are ready to escalate if the strikes continue. Top Iranian officials are also preparing for the possibility of a US ground invasion. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi warned Washington that such a move would be a disaster and that they are waiting for them. But US President Donald Trump has been dismissive so far. Speaking to NBC, Trump said sending ground troops into Iran would be a waste of time. According to Trump, Iran has already suffered catastrophic losses. He claimed Tehran has lost its navy, lost everything they can lose. But if Iran's latest missile launches in Tel Aviv, in Saudi, in Abu Dhabi are any indication, the country still has plenty of ways to fight back. But inside Iran, another crisis is unfolding, a leadership vacuum, following the killing of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei in a US-Israeli strike earlier this week. The biggest question now is who will replace him. One name is dominating the speculation, his son, Mojtaba Khamenei. A secretive and influential figure, Mojtaba has long been considered one of the most powerful men behind the scenes in the Islamic Republic. But since his father's death, he has not appeared in public. Reports suggest he may have gone into hiding as Israeli and American airstrikes continue. Mojtaba's rise to power has already been years in the making. US diplomatic cables published by WikiLeaks once described him as the power behind the ropes. According to those cables, Mojtaba acted as his father's gatekeeper, controlling access to the supreme leader and quietly building his own network of influence within the regime. Now, with the country under attack and the leadership uncertain, his political succession could reshape Iran's future. And the United States has stepped directly into that debate. In an interview, Donald Trump has said that he wants a say in choosing Iran's next leader. Trump also made one thing clear: Mojtaba Khamenei would be unacceptable. The comment has triggered outrage in Tehran. Iran's deputy foreign minister has openly mocked Trump while speaking at an event in New Delhi. He said the American president cannot even appoint the mayor of New York, so choosing Iran's leader is out of the question.
President Trump is asking for change in the leadership of Iran, and he says that I have to have voice on that, while he cannot appoint even the mayor of New York. Can you imagine this colonial approach, that he would like to see democracy at home, but he would like to topple down a democratically elected president of Iran and assassinating other countries? So this is the path that they are going, and this is the heroic, resistance that we are doing.
The Iranian minister also accused Israel of dragging Washington into the conflict. According to him, the war is driven by Israel's ambition to reshape the region under what he called the illusion of Greater Israel. Tehran now describes the conflict as an existential war for the Islamic Republic. Well, 7 days into the war, the battlefield is widening, the strikes are intensifying, and the political future of Iran itself is now uncertain. With US firepower poised to escalate and Iran promising retaliation, Day 8 could bring an even bigger confrontation. We'll continue tracking every major development. This is your War Dispatch. Stay tuned.